Jan is the kind of person who plans for absolutely everything. Her husband, Jeff, tends to take life as it comes. Will their differences cause problems when their new baby arrives? Coming up on Birthdays.
What's gotta be done's gotta be done.
It's for real now. Oh, he's a basket case.
She became overwhelmed.
The intimacy thing is a problem.
Dad got sleep last night, and Mom not so much sleep.
Hi, baby.
I'm Jan Flesh. I'm 32 years old. I'm a perfusionist at the Toronto General Hospital, which is the person that runs the open heart system, the bypass machine.
My name is Jeff Flesh. I'm 14 years old, and I'm a... Sorry, I had to get it out. I'm a little nervous. Okay. My name is Jeff Flesh. I'm 34 years old, and I'm an engineer.
They say opposites attract, and Jeff and Jan are just that.
Yeah. To be a perfusionist, you basically have to be a perfectionist because everything has to be in order because you're trying to prevent any emergencies.
She is a very clean, neat type person, and she likes to do things sort of according to a schedule or a plan.
Instructions are always good.
Instructions? I'm a guy. I don't need instructions. You know better.
I get out of joint when things are not in place and in order.
She's done all the research, read all the books, and Jan has a plan in place for her new baby.
The one that actually, that hopefully will help is it's called the Baby Whisperer. And it's been given to me, and a lot of people with newborns have sworn by it. I think the control aspect of children is going to be definitely a hurdle because up to this point I've been able to control most of the aspects of my life, you know. But with children, they're so unpredictable that you can't just say, well, stop crying or start eating.
I come from a family of three, and it's sort of always been one of those things that I've always wanted to be married and to have children.
I think in terms of children, I knew I always wanted to have kids eventually, but I was never that maternal kind of person that always wanted to have kids right away. So this is the baby room. Everything's pretty much done. We're missing a little bit of artwork, but it's everything is pretty much here. We're lucky because...
Having a child, I think, is really going to humble both of us because you cannot reason with a baby. And she will have to learn the baby is going to be the one that's going to be calling the shots.
And I read somewhere also to have everything open before the baby comes because the last thing you want to do is just fiddle with opening packages. So done that. Diapers are open, wipes are open, everything else is open. So we got the clothes in the drawers already. We try to keep with like neutral stuff.
So I'm thinking, why don't we head down...
Jeff's making some big career sacrifices for this baby, trading in his job as an aerospace engineer for a consulting job.
As an aerospace engineer, it's cutting edge, it's exciting stuff. However, I had to make the decision to be a little closer to home. And that's a decision that I made just for comfort's sake. That's it. That's it. That one's over.
9 days before her due date, Jan goes into labor.
It's pretty short. It's 3 minutes.
You want to go to the hospital now?
Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. You can put your weight on me. It's okay. Got a contraction coming? Okay, hang on, hang on.
Despite all the plans, Jan waits far too long before going to the hospital. Her contractions are now just 3 minutes apart, and it's a 30-minute drive.
Okay? I'm just gonna cover you, okay? Lift up your leg.
Is that a heartbeat I hear? Everything okay? You dilated?
7.
You're 7 centimeters? Wow, you're almost there.
Coming up, Jeff can't wait for their new baby. Jan is not as sure. is the planner. Jeff is easygoing. They're both overachievers. They think they're all ready for their new baby, but there's more to it than they know.
Okay?
You having contractions? Yeah. Okay, go on your back.
Get on your back. Let's get you on your back.
Pull those legs back. Use your hands. And push, 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 push.
Okay.
Push down.
That's good.
Jan's contractions are so close together, there's no time for an epidural.
Right up.
Deep breath. Push, push, push.
Good push. Let it out.
Is that the head?
Big one. Ready?
Push.
That's it.
Here it comes, sweetie.
Beautiful job.
Here it
Okay,
comes.
take a break for a sec.
Jan, it's so close. There you go.
That's
There it is.
That's the kind of push we want.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay, I'm
Nice
gonna
and
keep
steady.
Deep breath.
And stop.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
it's a girl.
Two. Okay, lay down on your tummy. There we go. And it is a...
1 hour after arriving at the hospital, Jan delivers a 6-pound, 13-ounce baby girl named Emily.
I think I was crying.
Yeah.
I'm a
But it seemed like an
chump.
alien baby, though. It seemed like somebody else's baby.
The delivery is so emotionally and physically exhausting for Jan that she is completely unprepared for her first moments as a mother.
Look at the hands. Look at that little hand.
Once a woman has given birth, there's almost always a reaction. The reaction, in the vast majority of cases, is positive. She's excited. She wants to know what it is. She wants to know that it's okay. She's thrilled. It's done. The hard work of the labor is over. That's part one. It is very uncommon for a woman to be relatively unresponsive or unemotional. So to have somebody just lie back, sometimes there's an underlying psychological problem. Sometimes it's just pure exhaustion. Sometimes they just have themselves in another zone. But that would be uncommon.
I think I got emotional. I wouldn't surprise me if I was crying. I can't remember if I was crying or not, but it was just a very magical moment.
And it actually took me quite a while before I actually really focused down on her and realized that, oh my gosh, I have a baby here. I think I was just so concentrated on the pain and getting rid of that took most of my attention. Starting to sink in a little bit more that I'm a mom. Still surreal. It's just really strange because, maybe because it happened really fast as well. It's like one moment you're pregnant, the next moment someone gives you this. So my parents are here. They drove from Stratford. They were afraid they wouldn't make the 8 o'clock visitor deadline, but they showed up on time, so. Grandma and Grandpa. How are you? Emily. I was raised in Vietnam, and I came over when I was 4. In terms of the language, ideally, I'd love to have Emily learn to speak Vietnamese, but I'm also realistic. It's a very difficult language, especially in a household where we're not speaking it at all. When she gets older and she comprehends a little bit more, I'd like to take her down to the Chinatown and just expose her more to my culture. And I think that's something that I would like for her and her upbringing.
Oh. All right, I got your purse, you got the baby. Mm-hmm. We're all good.
All right.
We'll turn here. Oh, I see.
Coming home was pretty chaotic because my whole family came over and so did Jeff's family. And so, it was a good thing, bad thing. It was nice that everyone was here and supportive. I didn't have to worry about feeding myself or cooking or cleaning and whatnot because basically they just said, sit down. I fed the baby, I gave the baby away to somebody, and they changed her, they put her to sleep, and then someone handed me food and took away the food. So literally, I was just sitting there being weighted hand, foot, and that was really nice.
DIA, Dad in action. Oh, this is attached. Whoa, look at that. What is Mom feeding you? You want to do that later? Okay. All right. Here we go. Piece of cake.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye, Jazz. I'm good. Bye-bye.
You're good?
Bye-bye.
You know our number.
I do. I got on speed dial 1. You're not going to get to the end of the road. All right. Bye-bye. Safe drive. Jan, it's just the two of us now. This is where the fun really begins.
The lack of sleep the first couple of nights convinced Jan it was time to get the baby on a schedule.
At one point, I just thought, what have I got myself into, Like, I'll never have any peace and quiet again because I'll always have this baby here, I never... It was a realization point, that's for sure.
You have to go to Plan B.
Coming up, Jan and Jeff disagree over Jan's super structured schedule for baby Emily.
People must think that we're just so cruel. Wake up.
Jan, Jeff, and Emily are home safe from the hospital. The families have all gone home,
Bye-bye, Jazz.
and reality begins to sink in.
Jan, it's just the two of us now.
In all the books, they give you all the reasons why a baby could be crying and whatnot, but in all of them, they say you have to just basically figure out what your baby's routine is because, each child is different.
Documenting baby Emily's routine is the first step of Jan's master plan.
This is her feeding log. Keeps track of when I feed, how often, and if she feeds well. So I have the date and also days of her life.
We're trying to put Emily on a schedule at a very early age. The idea is to feed her every 3 hours, and right after feeding, keep her up.
The tricky parts of this plan, though, are actually waking the baby up when she's asleep and then keeping her awake after she's been fed. Jan likes the plan a lot. Jeff and baby Emily are a different story.
I feel mean. You want to sleep.
You gonna wake up for us?
People must think that we're just so cruel. Jan, I don't know.
She doesn't look hungry, does she?
Nope.
But she needs to eat. Nope.
We're gonna have to go to Plan B. We're gonna have to go to Plan B. You don't want me to take it to Plan B.
What's gotta be done's gotta be done.
I do question some of the stuff on the plan. For example, when she doesn't want to sleep, I'd like to hold her, and we don't do that all the time because she's not supposed to be according to the plan. There should be some spontaneity allowed. I don't know if I was raised to a plan or not, but I thought I turned out all right.
I don't think that it's possible, and I don't think it's necessary to train a newborn. I think newborns should breastfeed on demand. If the baby wants to breastfeed every 2 hours, that's how it's going to be. But to put on a baby on a schedule and say, I'm going to wake you every 3 or every 4 hours and feed you, or I'm not going to feed you at 2 hours because you're crying, I'm going to make you wait till 4 hours, I think that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to bathe her?
Oh yeah, that's probably a good time for you to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted the bathing to be sort of my contribution. And when you have your wife that has a certain idea how things should be done, it can be a little intimidating. And I just wanted to sort of set the ground rule there, saying, look, I'm allowed to make a mistake on this. Give me the benefit of the doubt, but you have to let me try this. This is my child, and I want to be active. I had to say that just to sort of eke out my role and responsibility in the first few weeks. When family comes around, they want to help and participate, and I didn't want to be, dare I say, marginalized. All right, you have to promise me this. Mm-hmm. You can watch, and you can critique, but let me do it.
Okay. The bath with Jeff Jeff did the bath because right from the get-go we had determined that he was going to be the bath guy. Men aren't as good at organizing the women are, I think, but I think he'll do okay. And so, you know, he read about it. He watched the nurse do the bath at the hospital, and so I figured I'd leave that to him. And so it was a little shaky. It was quite comical, I guess, because he was trying to, you know, hold her and then have a foot to go here and another arm there. It didn't seem like he had enough arms to do it.
We're just making you into a little egg roll. We're all done.
After a week off, Jeff goes back to work. The financial responsibility of being a dad is now a reality.
Daddy's got to go off to work so I can buy all those expensive things for you in 16 years. See ya. All right. See you later.
Babies are very expensive. People don't realize going into it just how expensive babies are because they sort of just look at the glow. But in fact, when you add it all up, we actually have stats in Canada that shows it costs about $250,000 to get a kid out of the house. So just think of it as a $250,000 investment.
I feel this large weight of responsibility on my shoulders as a provider, and that's sort of the thing that really is something I'm dealing with right now. And now we've got a new member to the family, and Jan's on mat leave. So our financial future it shows a lot of promise and potential, but right at this moment is not as strong as I want it to be.
I should wake her up.
Coming up, now on her own with the baby, Jan finds it hard to stick to the plan. Jan and Jeff are first-time parents. Jan is convinced that newborns should be on a schedule. But now that Jeff is back at work, she discovers that babies have their own plans.
What do you think? Yeah. She's gotta do. I should wake her up. I know.
With Jeff at work, Jan continues with the plan. No matter how sleepy the baby is, Jan wakes her up every 3 hours.
It's, I'm just starting to get into a bit of a routine now, but, you know, as soon as you think you've got something down pat, you know, she throws something else because she grows in different stages, and so, you know, her schedule gets thrown as well, so.
Are you gonna wake up?
Yeah, it's quite different for sure.
As the days turn into weeks, Jan finds that she is bonding more with her baby.
With feeding her, you have to look down, and so just having more days of just looking at her and having to stare at her, I think that got me to bond a little bit more and with each day, and her being more awake and aware and looking at you and making faces. I think it was a gradual thing for me. It definitely wasn't an instantaneous thing.
Today is baby Emily's 1-month birthday. In Vietnamese culture, this is a big milestone, and the whole family is here.
Yeah, just got it.
How are you? Good to see you again.
Good to see you. So they do this. It's big celebrations. You always kind of light incense and you kind of celebrate with the past ancestors. But everything has to be in variation of 3. That's why there's 3 of everything. So we did the bowing 3 times just to bow to the ancestors as well. So.
Jan and Jeff have learned a lot during the past month. For a couple who are used to focusing on their own careers and lives, they now focus on baby Emily's needs.
The experience of being a dad is really different than actually what I had initially imagined. The first thing is how chaotic or unstructured it is with respect to what I was used to. It's not, you can't plan anything because things go at the speed of the baby.
We're definitely not, you know, we don't spend as much time together as much as we used to. I do feel that, you know, he basically just comes home and you know, we're in the same room together, but it's not the same as it used to be. So that is something that I miss.
The plan has sort of gone to schedule, but it also has sort of morphed itself into something else. And To be honest, I think sometimes you just have to let a baby be a baby, and you know, things have a way of working out.
I've learned that you kind of have to go with the flow, because I was such a structured person before. That book, the log book, has been thrown out, and it's actually, we still have it, but I haven't looked at it in a long time. And you know, I just kind of have to go with the flow and follow her cues, and that's the biggest thing I've learned, I think.
And it's sort of, I've almost learned sort of the opposite, is that I think I need to be more organized and more structured. It's sort of getting to a point where I can do all the things that I need to do, be a father, be a husband, be an athlete, be a buddy. I can fit them all in if I get myself really organized, and that's something that having the baby has just really put that to another level.